Hello and welcome to another edition of the Manliness Venture. That is freaking good. Alright, so I'm here in Germany and this is in my connecting flight home. You can kind of see it's Oktoberfest, and I decided to stop and get a liter of beer because they do a promotion right now for Oktoberfest. And so I thought, you know what, this is gonna be pretty freaking epic to talk about three manly guys with a liter of beer in my hand. Since I became an adult, I've always wanted to go to Oktoberfest, and I actually really want to do a video about that. So it won't be this year, but in the future that's gonna happen. So dude number one, Persius. As you can tell, this is a pretty badass statue. Persius is mainly known for having executed Medusa. Now you can tell that he is holding her head, so it's kind of obvious what he did. But what's his story and why is he so manly? There was a prophecy that he was going to kill his grandpa, and so his grandpa exiled him. So he went to a new kingdom and he grew up and he was strong and was honorable and was well known for those two qualities. But the king of that new kingdom wanted to get with his mom, and so he would protect his mom from being taken by that king. That king obviously didn't like that. So he sends Perseus on this impossible quest. Basically, Perseus said that he could ask anything of him, and what he did to get rid of Perseus was send him this impossible quest. He asked for Medusa's head. Now we all know what Medusa was famous for. Anybody that looked at her would turn into stone. So his preparation for the mission was absolutely key. He got everything that he needed. He got a means of transport, he got a sword, obviously to cut her head off, but the main thing that he got was a mirrored shield. And this mirrored shield was what enabled him to cut off her head without him seeing her. So what lessons can we take from Perseus? Well, one, he didn't back out on his word. Two, he protected his mom. So for us men, it's up to us to protect the women that are around. I don't think that women always need protection, but when they do, it's up to us to be there for them, especially those of our family. The second guy is Hercules. Now, obviously, everybody knows about Hercules. I'm gonna give you some shattering knowledge. Hercules was not Greek, he was Roman.
No, it's not true. That's impossible.
The Greek version of the same god is Hercules. So Hercules was actually the son of Jupiter, the Roman god. Besides that, the story is pretty much the same. You can see in this statue, his main weapon was a club. Now, that's a pretty badass main weapon because, you know, it's not just slicing through anything. That's executing blunt force trauma. Obviously, Hercules is known for his strength, but he's also known for his 12 labors. So basically, he's known for his strength and his adventures. Now, what man doesn't want to be strong and adventurous? And I believe that's for a reason. So the lesson that we take from Hercules is that we should cultivate our strength. If you don't already work out, you should. And it's not just because, you know, you want to look a certain way. It's because if you had to use your strength for a reason, you should be able to. There's also multiple benefits to being fit. And if you haven't seen my video that I did about that, it'll be in the description down below. But also, I think that we should be more adventurous. You know, it's kind of scary to go out and do things that are out of the ordinary. But I think it's important because we end up growing through it. We end up trusting ourselves more, and we end up facing situations that can help us be prepared for other surprises in our life. Plus, you come out with stories about those situations, you know? Everything that you do that ends up being kind of like scary or an adventure, you get a great story out of it. That makes you a deeper person and more interesting. They don't have to be grand adventures like capturing the Cretan bull, slaying the Nemean lion, slaying the 9-headed hydra, capturing the golden hind of Artemis. Now that is a quest. You know, they can be micro adventures like backpacking or sleeping under the stars or dirt biking or picking up a dangerous hobby. Now, both of these first dudes were fictitious, but the next guy on the list is not, and he is, you guessed it, David. Probably the most famous statue in Florence, maybe the most famous statue of all time. Now, this one is not the actual statue. This is a replica. Because at one point in history, some politician got really pissed and threw a table out the window and it hit David's arm and broke it off.
Tu sei un pazzo, va via qui! Sono stanco di te, ti do un pugno nella testa! Ti uccido con questa carne!
So after they fixed that, they decided to put a replica out front. You can go see the real statue. It's in the museum. And I've been, and it's absolutely incredible. They do a really cool presentation with it. Some of Michelangelo's unfinished works leading up to it, and it's absolutely awesome. A lot of people say that this statue is basically perfection. So you may say, you know, what's with the pose? That's not really a manly pose. Now, this statue is supposed to be representing David right after he had collected the rocks that he was going to fling at Goliath. So a lot of people say that the pose that he's in is a pose of confidence. But if you're there and you look at his face, he kind of has a look of doubt, a look of consternation. But, you know, he trusted in God. And I think that that's really interesting. Because as a man, there's moments in our lives we're gonna doubt ourselves. And he was just a teenager when he faced Goliath. He was still a warrior. I mean, after he killed Goliath, he cut his head off and carried it around for days. Oh, that's pretty manly. He knew that his cause was true and just and righteous. And so he put his trust in God and went after it. And so the lesson here for us is, one, to trust in God. And two, when we're nervous and when we are unsure about things, we should, you know, do our best and leave it up to Him. We should not cower away from the things that try to hold us back, from the challenges that we have in our lives. So there you have it. I have three manly dudes. They're examples of how to be a better man. Being honorable, being protective in a good way, not overly protective, just protective, cultivating our strength, trusting in God, and not letting obstacles get in the way of what we know is right. So until next time, man up.